So the zach is like this. First of all, welcome everybody. Hopefully, first of all, shkoyach, Advisable for hosting this year. And hopefully, Mitzvos will, we can make this a thing. So I want to first stellen back the agenda, Advisable. And yeah.
Keep talking about outside and listening.
Okay, so the mass is like this. I want to have a, get together every week and learn a text, meaning not a chumash here, as just take a text related to the Parsha and just go through it like a mensch. Together, inside. Now, the text, like this week, I want to do a Ramban. So this week I'm taking last week Noise, just because we can't Christina is good. So we have to start with last week. Also because it's a sugya, I think it's a gewaldige sugya to go through. 1 week it's a Rambam, a Ramban, a Zohar. Zohar is my latest favorite. It's unbelievable. There's nothing like it, be'emes. It's just not. I'm telling you, Zohar. If you could, mature to an extent where you could just appreciate it and not get lost in all the whatever, there's nothing like it. But I'm not a harmonist. I don't think everyone holds the same thing. None of that. Adrabah, punkt farket. No one says the same thing, and no one's coming from the same place, and everyone has his own mahalach hamachshava, and they absolutely usually don't say the same thing, and they don't agree with each other, and they wouldn't take each other's kids into schools. But we have to understand everyone and what they're saying. So this be'etzem is the Parshas Kiseitzah, is the mitzvah of Shluch HaKen. So there's a Ramban that's worth going through. Yeah, I want to apologize in advance for my English if it's not polished as it should be. So the Zach is like this. If you have a good Ramban, meaning is if someone comes to me and asks me what Yiddishkeit is, then I think it's a matter of like 5 long Rambans ala Torah, and I think that would be the best representation for what, again, in my opinion, is authentic Torah Messina. Again, it's just my humble opinion. So when you have a good Ramban, a long Ramban, that just goes through the sugya, there's nothing like it. So there's a Ramban, a Shluch HaKen, that the noise is mamish not Shluch HaKen, and it's kedai to get a little background. The etzem shal over here is, why do we do the mitzvahs that we do? What is the function of the mitzvahs? What do they do for us? What do we do for them? And what is the point? What's the point of doing the mitzvahs? So what we're not being done b'chalal is our chiyuv to do them. That's a distraction. We don't want to get into that. You have to be mekayim the mitzvahs. Whatever reason is nish negaya. It's Yom Kippur, you have to fast. It's Sukkot, you have to shakal l'nashik. No serious Chacham B'Yisrael ever disagreed with that. But the shala is, having that said, what does the Torah want from us when the Torah gives us a mitzvah? And it seems to us something pretty straightforward. And that's, when I was thinking some now on the way here, that it's obvious that it's credit to the way we think about it is the Shittas HaRambam. And like many things, the Rambam transformed Yiddishkeit to the extent that we can't look back anymore. Meaning it's very easy. It's not easy, but if one would want, he could probably take the Yud Gimel Ikrim, and I don't know if there's a single one of them, maybe 1, 2, that you can't present a case against it from a serious Yiddish perspective. But since the Rambam, then you're not Jewish if you do that. So, meaning the Rambam's you can't overstate the Rambam's effect and influence on the way we perceive the Torah and Yiddishkeit and everything, right? I mean, that's something. Dugma ledova is ani mamen and the guf and the musag, right? Something that everyone knows. Abish doesn't have a guf. If you would tell it to someone 1,000 years ago, half of you wouldn't agree with you. The Pashto wouldn't agree with you. They never heard of. First of all, they wouldn't understand your agenda. Why? They wouldn't know where you're coming from. Va'oid, they'll tell you, I learned the whole Torah, Nevi'im, Ksuvim, Gemara, whatever. I don't see often a pasuk that says that. I don't know why it bothers you so much. Why is it so important to you? Forget. I think the Eibush does a long white beard. Okay.
You see this earlier in Sadia.
Yeah. You're right. But Reb Sadia, like many things, the Rambam doesn't invent things out of whole cloth. But it's the Rambam took a lot. Even what we're going to learn today is you could source Reb Sadia, but you can't. It's not. I don't think it's justified to credit Reb Sadia with a. You're right. So the again, that's exactly the fact. The fact that today a kid's going to get up and say that the Ravids Gdolim V'Toivim Mimenu didn't have an issue with it, he's going to be put in cherem and justified. I'm not bichlal in the camp of people that have an agenda to go tell you that you don't have to believe in Yud Gimel Krim. Mamish not. What I'm trying to say is that the way we think, we're used to thinking the way we think that's Torah Sinai, and again, Mimoshe Ad Moshe Lekam Kamoshe for that reason. But when you go back to the development of it, and you go back to the Nekuda where he's saying a Chiddush, that's where you appreciate what he's saying. So we take a lot of it for granted. Okay, but enough Akdamas. So there's a Mishnah. So the Torah, first before the Mishnah, the Pasuk says, and so that is the mitzvah of Shaluch HaKen. You see a mother on the Efroichim, the Beitzim, then you can't take either or, you have to send away the mother, and then you can take it. Fine, that's the mitzvah. Zug the Mishnah in Brochis. So this is in a period when Yidden are freestyling Shemon Esrei, and so this guy is davening for the Amud, and he's just, he's davening and he's koching a vek, and in the middle of his tachnunim over there, he's saying, you have Rachmanis on the birds, I guess that you don't let us take the aim al abanim, so therefore you had Rachmanis on the aim that she doesn't see that we take away the banim, or vice versa. So that's why Kain Terachim Aleinu, right? That's the Baruch Hashem. Okay, which bracha would he probably say this in?
Goyal is wrong.
Okay, Kain Terachim Aleinu v'Tego Aleinu Mehera Baruch Hashem Goyal Yisrael. Okay, let's say that's his bracha. So Mishat Kanoiser. So someone who has this creativity, then Mishat Kanoiser, you're not allowed to. Okay, there's things that you're allowed to say, but there are limits to your creativity in your davening. Fine. Why are you not allowed to say Al Kam Tzipi Yagirach Mecha? So the Gemara Azoi. Pligi ba Terem Rabbi Marov. Rabbi Yosef Bravo, Rabbi Yosef Bezvide. Chad Omar Neshamat L'Kina B'Masa B'Reishis. V'Chad Omar Mepnei She'oisem Midoisem Shel Kishbar Chorachmim B'Enan Al Akzeris. So you have a machlekes in the Gemara. What is the problem of saying Al Kam Tzipi Yagirach Mecha? So one Mandomer says Shamat L'Kina B'Masa B'Reishis. Dr. Rashi Loimar Al Elachos B'Lo Shabri Yotzim. Because this person is coming to say that Al-Kam Tzipi Yagirach Mecha, but Etzem what he's saying is that the Eibishter's Rachmanos is limited. That the Eibishter's Rachmanos Me'ezeh Sibishahi only on the birds and not on tigers. Because he's going into, he's opening a Pandora's box, and we don't like this. So look for something else. Okay, you want to prove the Eibishter's Rachmanos, come up with something else. The other Maldomer says, no. Dr. Rashi is a very, very important Rashi. Midoisov is mitzvah. So meaning he's saying that the mitzvahs are rachmim. V'hu lo lerachmim also. The Eibishter didn't give his mitzvahs for rachmim. Ela lahatl al Yisrael chukei gzerosav. Okay. Lo hidia shehem avodov v'shoymei mitzvoisav gzeros chukoisav. Fine. Sagt Rashi. Why am I not allowed to say Al Kan Tibi Girach? Because you're coming, you stell like a premise that the mitzvahs of the Eibishter is Rachmim, and it's not true. It's not the ganze. Meaning is, what are you saying? How are you learning mitzvah Shluch HaKen? You're learning Shluch HaKen that the reason why the Eibishter Shalach Hazem is about to tikach is because the Eibishter is Rachmanos on the mother. L'Adam. It's not the ganze Sibin, not the Eibishter. No, there's no Rachmanos on Babel in this whole Indian. L'Adam. There's no Rachmanos in this whole mitzvah. What is there in this mitzvah? Gzeres. The whole point of the Torah is Zakt Rashi, Lahatul al Yisrael Chukei Gzeros of Lohidia Shem Avadu V'Shomer V'Tzazim V'Tzazim. The point, the reason why the Eibishter gave you a mitzvah is Lohidia that you're an Eved. What's the sense of it? There's no sense. Doesn't have to be a sense. Forget it. If you give a sense to it, then you're ma'oyer. Then the Harg is the ganze Zach. What we're trying to accomplish over here. What we're trying to accomplish over here is folk. Folk, accept and move on. Now you're going to come. You're going to say that so pshat is like this. Then you're undermining the whole institution of Avodas Hashem. If you're going to compare it to slavery, which all time mitzvahs. Now, if you're going to compare it to slavery, and I mamish don't like to, but al karchenu. So the whole institution lives on the fact that you have to listen to me. Because I'm your master, you're an Eved, I could be 5 years old, you have to listen to me. It makes sense? It doesn't make sense. You want to argue, I'm going to kill you. And the lashes and whatever it is. There's no he going. And the second you're going to try to learn about say going, then you're undermining my authority. You're doing it because you're masking. What's if you're not masking? I'm not going to do it. Because that whole sugya is, we don't want to go there. Zuk Rashi, okay? Pashtus, the way Rashi learns his Gemara. And Kvishi is bar, the Rambam also learns the Gemara this way. And that is that the point of the Torah is to listen. And if someone's going to ask you, what is the point of mitzvah tzedakah? What's the point of kibbud avein? The answer to that is, so
why does the Torah sometimes give reasons?
The Torah gives reasons.
Why?
No, because sometimes.
Hold
on. So let's a woman. No, don't go there. I don't want to go there. They're both not. First of all, wait a second. The primary reason why I don't want to go there is because it's too easy. It's the lazy answer. Both are true. Is the lazy answer. We don't want to go there. So let's first say they're both not true. Okay. So for now, I want to say that first, what we saw over here is that you took a mitzvah. That if you learn the mitzvah a little, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. If you learn the mitzvah, then pashtus, there's a sense over here. Why would you say it's it makes sense? The Rambam is not saying, there are other mitzvahs, the Rambam goes far. But over here, we didn't see a Rambam, we saw a Mishnah, right? The reasoning that the guy in the Mishnah is giving is miskavel al-adas. And the problem that the Gemara has, and Rashi's Ma'ir, is that and when you're going to give a reason, you're undermining that. You want to say, and then I think that's the natural reaction that everyone wants to say, is that Avad, we have to be Mekayim the mitzvahs. No, the Torah has a reason for the mitzvahs. Avad, I know you think that, but that's not what he's saying. He's saying that when you get up and you say, you're undermining the entire Torah. Who loy lerachmem also?
Rashi's coming to circumvent the loy lerachmem also.
Rashi is saying that this person that's davening for the Amid has a kruma ashkofa. That's what Rashi is saying. Why? I'm asking you, why Meshat Kenoisa? Why Meshat Kenoisa? Okay, because this person has a kruma way of looking on the Torah. You're looking at Mitzvah Shluch HaKen as Rachamim, you're making a mistake. It's B'chlal not in the Kudu. And you have to understand, these two perspectives are soiser each other, because if the point is Chukak Zeresav, then you're being a Maharetz if you're giving it time. It's not your business. Wait, I tell you.
How are you going back to Tom and Sam?
Let's address
so, hold on. So,
and the Ram is very particular.
Oh, no.
Wait.
Wait. We didn't meet the Rambam yet. Okay?
The Torah gives where it says a reason why it's a mitzvah. It's the whole purpose of the Torah.
Okay, so for that you're gonna have to deal with. These are good points. Not only that, the Torah, and you're gonna see in the Psukim that the Rambam brings to support his case, the Psukim that say that that's the agenda of the entire Torah. Okay, so yes, you're gonna have to be able to defend this. But first, let's start with the shit.
No problem.
Fine, let's go. Now, this is the alternative. So I just, the Rambam, you could quote 1,000 Rambams, mamash. I like this one because this is just glorious. Zig the Rambam Azai. This is a Moira Perek Gimel, Chelik Gimel Perek Lamed Aleph. Mibnei Adam, Anoshim, sheyichbad aleim nesina sibel lemitzvah min hamitzvos. There are people who don't like this whole mahalach of giving reasoning for mitzvahs. V'atoy v'etzlam, shelo yuskel lemitzvah lazor in klal. That there should be no understanding in any mitzvah, any loisase, any mitzvah, nothing. V'sheyeviyim al zeh, and what causes them to think so, hu choili sheimtzu v'nafsham. How do you translate that?
Illness within them.
The sick in the head. Meaning, what the Rambam is saying is that there's people that are limited. Their capacity and understanding is limited in a very severe way. And they themselves can identify what it is that brings them to this, but I psychoanalyze them and I'll tell you what it is. So, meaning, there are people you can have a conversation with them, they're going to tell you one thing, but there's something underlining, there's something much deeper than that. And what is it? V'hu, shehem yachshavu shem yiyu elu ha'toros ma'ilos b'zeh ha'metzias u'mapnei kach nitztavinu b'hem yeh ki'ilu bo'u mimachshavos v'estaklos b'al seichel. Omnam, kasher yeh dover shelo yiskel la'yini klal v'lo yavi toyeles yeh b'lo yisavik me'ez Hashem. And this is a conversation, I'm not maxim, I had with a person 2 days ago. And the Rambam says azoi, the Ashkof is like this. The Eibishter's das, it has so viel aggressive in my das, right? So if Sachaklu, what the Eibishter wants, is something that I also understand, then it's not Getlach. It can't be Getlach, Stam das. Because if I could have said the same thing, then I need the Torah to say that. The more mufrach, the more ridiculous, and the more abstract it is, then the more esoteric, the more getlach, the more mystical. That's why he says, some people are drawn to mysticism in a certain way. I'm not making a ganze case. I'm just saying a very simple dos. Because if you don't understand it b'chalal, meaning a lot of people understand, if I do something heebie-jeebie, and then you tell me that's ma'or or something, whatever, then people can connect it because it's getlach. But if I tell you, just be nice to your neighbor and you could hope that whatever, then that's not getlach. Meaning that's a good eitzah from a good balbos. But it's not Torah Hashem. It's not actually the Shalom Mitzvos of Yitzivon. There's it's not completely related. I won't say. Okay, so let's finish the round. Let's let him talk and then we'll. So he says Azoi. If it's something that makes no sense, shatness, lulav esrik to us, we're not farmers. But look, it's a gunish. It makes no sense. We look like ridiculous human beings. We come in with huge things, we shackle them back, and people shackle away. But when it comes to something that we intuitively understand, if we would want to make a case for these people, then you could point out that there is a pattern. Follow the pattern. People are nizer, dafke in the things that they don't understand over the things they do understand. It works 10 out of 10 times, right? The guy, no one eats machalas asuras, no one wears shatnez, and the list goes on, and tzedakah, and kibbud avim, and whatever, yeah, cheating in business, and whatever, people are less nizer. So, okay, so let's go weiter. She says, because a person would never think of such a thing. According to this guy, if you're going to line it up via mensch, then the person's das is more shalom than the Rebbeinu Shalom. A person is going to give it, it's going to bring you something, it's going to bring results. Okay, so here the Rambam is psychoanalyzing this perspective that says that we're Mekayim Mitzvos, we don't, Mekayim Mitzvos, I don't understand anything, I don't know anything. If I can't, the Mitzvos, there's no Pashat Balbat Hashem. Meaning, the Rambam is saying, that the people who say das balabatim, who hepech das Torah, are be'etzem making chil Hashem. Because what they're saying is that there's a das balabatim, and das balabatim basically means common sense. Common sense, what everyone understands, not every shoit in the world. It's someone who learned up azach via mensch. So al korach, if a person says that the way I acquire from something is by a transaction, every normal person in the world understands it, and every lawyer understands it, and every normal understands it, that can't be how it can work. So we have to come up with that mahalach that no person ever thought possibly could work, and we invent a new mahalach because that's how a kinyan has to work. It can't work in a way that every normal person in the street knows. So the Rambam nimtze that this person is a shalom ayaseh, meaning that the person is more shalom. And the whole point of all the mitzvahs is for our betterment. That the reason why the Eibush is giving us the Torah is that when the guy is going to see the Torah, the Oived of the Zohar, reaction is meaning not only the mishpatim, so this mitzvah is not bringing nothing. It's not making you better. It's not having any positive effect on you or society or anything. Why would a spectator assume that doing whatever you're doing does anything for anyone? I don't know where the Rambam says that according to them it should have said Rakam Chacham, Rakam Sochel v'tipish agoya kot nazeh. Something there's a lotion from the Rambam. That's how we would perceive that type of Torah. אבל אין כמו שזכרנו בלא ספק, והוא שכל מצווה מאלו התרי"ג מצוות היא אם לנסינס דאס אמיתי תשתל אבק יושב השכל the right דאס, או להסר דאס רע to take away a good mid, a bad mid, a good opinion, a bad perspective, או לנסי the say the yosher structure of society, או להסר ovel to take away avles, או להסלמת במדסטויבס to train us in מדסטויבס, או להזרום במדסטויבס, הכל נתלה בשלושה דברים, בדייס, במידס, ובמאזן נוגע מדינס. You can split the entire Torah into three categories. There's machshava, there's midis, and the society. And the entire mitzvahs all fall into one of these three categories. Fine. Okay. So this is the Rambam. Okay, so let's start away. Das Rambam. Das Rambam is that the whole tachlis of the Torah is, the whole tachlis of all the mitzvahs of Torah is to transform us. The Torah has an agenda. Basically, according to the Rambam, the way we have to look at the Torah is the Torah has a general agenda. The Torah wants, with everything the Torah is going to say, is to bring us as individuals and as a society to a certain agenda, to a certain product. The Torah has a final product it wants you to look like, it wants society to look like, it wants you as an individual to look like, and through the mitzvahs, he's going to train you and bring you into that. So that's why the Torah is going to give you any of the mitzvahs, and any of the mitzvahs the Rambam says is going to have to be in one of these things. And that's why the guy that looks inside, he says, wow, that makes so much sense. So
there's a sort of mechalik between Sheva mitzvahs b'nei Noach, which is for the whole world that they should be able to.
No, but they're not, these goyim, Moshe Rabbeinu is not saying it on the Sheva mitzvah. So Moshe Rabbeinu is saying it on the entire Torah. So now, Nimtzonu Lemeidim, that be'etzem, when we come to do a mitzvah, according to, so be'etzem, I would say we have a machlokes, you could call it Rashi and the Rambam in a certain sense. And the shayla is, what's my gisha? What's my l'shem yichid? According to Rashi, and according to the perspective that Kaponim that comes out from lo l'rachme masa elo lahatl chukei gzeres, whatever, and that is Kadesh Nasser Ritzaina. That's it. The Eibush said we should do it. I'm going to do it. I don't want to know. I don't care to know. It's not negay. It's a distraction. Fakert. The more and Tifer, the more I don't know, the more I'm going to have to work on myself. And the more I have to work on myself, the more ever I am. Think about it. It's murder. Because the more you have to brech von sich, the more you have to torture yourself to do a mitzvah, the more you work on yourself. And the more you take yourself and you make yourself an Avodat Hashem. According to the Rambam, you're missing the point. According to the Rambam, is the whole Torah is here to do something to you. And if you don't tap into that, then it's not Ikar Chasam and Sefer, but But it's almost that. Because it's like you're doing the guf b'lei neshama. The whole point why the Torah told you to do something is because it wanted to be kaveh in you a certain das. You're not letting yourself. Sit down before you do a mitzvah, meditate, think about it. What could this mitzvah possibly be teaching me? Why would the Eibishter want to tell me a mitzvah? Now, I'm not going to say the Eibishter wants me to do it because ich weiß nicht was. The second you say ich weiß nicht was, I'm not talking. You're doing the Rambam trusts you, and every single year there was ever Makabel the Torah, and especially himself, that he could tell you exactly why the Torah told you what he tells you. Now, this is the Sabaraba of all slippery slopes. I agree. Although one would make Kayadua that the slipperyest slope is the slippery slope argument. But you have to appreciate that when you learn this Rambam. That the second you put me in a position to say, okay, the Torah gives this to me because it wants to benefit me XYZ. First of all, Michael Toivis. Second of all, I'm like that anyway. B, I could just come up with 1,000 reasons why it's not a gay. So, and you can't run away from that. Meaning, this is be'emes the biggest problem with it.
Why don't you explain it that you're supposed to evolve from it after the tzibur of the mitzvah?
To who?
I didn't learn the Rambam well enough to say
The Rambam in Bedas who?
The doing the mitzvah itself will change.
No. Bedas, because Bedas and Rambam, there's nothing beyond it. Forget the Bedas and Rambam.
Hashem didn't do Shlomo came because Hashem has a command from birth. Hashem did a Shlomo came because Hashem come wants to do that.
But fine, hold on. You're going.
I think it's a race on. That means that it's a race on it that you should become a better person, and then you will become.
I'm in it. Wait a minute. Wait.
And the tzibur is that you should think in and you should.
How will the good?
Who is giving you? I'm asking you a question. Okay, we're both spectators. We see a guy, Dominic Fidoma, and he says, "Al kan tzipi yagir achmech." We have a time on this guy. We're shutting him up.
They're not necessarily mutually exclusive. That's what you're saying.
I know that's what everyone is saying, and I dafka want to say that it is mutually exclusive. First and foremost, because I think that's mavur. Second of all, because the Rambam, the Ramban, and everyone who gives a day in the noise that doesn't want to be apologetic, meaning both sides state their opinion very clearly. So, meaning the Rambam, I don't think that's not my problem now. That's my problem. I'm going to be the Rambam's lawyer. I don't have the problem now. First, I want to know what the Rambam thinks, and then we'll see the Rambam. The Rambam, by the way, once you assume the responsibility of answering all the Gemaras that are kasha on all the Rambams, I'm not talking about the halacha Rambams. I'm talking about the Agada Rambams. You have a long, long day ahead of you. So, primarily because the Rambam doesn't see himself very meshubah to answer every Agada to him. It's not something that. Yeah, but the Shad is the reasoning why. The Rambam Bechlal. We have to maybe in another time talk about the Rambam's Gishat, what you would call Agadat or Machshava Gemaras. It's a whole other kind of worms. But here, in this Indian, we see Azar. The Yid that comes to the Rambam is having a conversation with him, and the Shaila is, why did the Eibishter give us the mitzvahs? So the Rambam says, I spoke to the guy, I met him a couple of times. Now he doesn't know, he's not self-aware. But I'll tell you his issue. He thinks that if it makes sense, it's problematic. To be getlich, it can't make sense. It has to be esoteric. It has to be, that's what the Rambam is saying. The Rambam is talking to a certain person. Okay, and he's saying that for you to do a mitzvah, you have to be able to close your eyes. You can't do a mitzvah with open eyes.
Not only do not the Rambam anymore, the Rambam is actually saying the Gemara is we rationalize.
Listen, you have to get out of that courtroom. Get out of it. You're busy defending, get out of it. First, let's understand, before we're going to take him to task, let's appreciate what he's saying. Let's appreciate what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Okay? Now, fine. Now, according to the way we learned Rashi, and I think it's the accurate way to learn Rashi, then, and again, I told you, the Rambam is the first one who says that this Rashi learns the Gemara correctly, and that is that when you give a tam for the mitzvah, you're schlepping at the rug on the entire concept of being an Avodah Hashem. Avid fragt nicht kakashas. That's it. Stoik, kach alle b'machshava, afakert. The more it hurts, the less it makes sense, the more of an Eved you are. And the more of an Eved you are, no, that's step two. True. I think though, if Rashi says what I say he says, then that's an obvious toitzah. No, if not, why mishat can I say? I don't think we're only Mishatkan Oisha because he said a Kruma Ashkof. Okay, maybe.
The old Moshat is more mentioned there, or Kfir. Every single one. There's the old Kfir Digadik. This has to be Kfir Digadik.
So let's see. Let's see the Ramban.
No, the wood is not saying it.
So there is.
But you have to explain that somehow.
So let's see the. Now, by the way, I want to just say one more thing. That shtickle has to do with something that I wanted to print it out, I forgot it. But that's a shmuz stam. When you learn Rambam, and really everyone, you have to learn Rambam aliba de Rambam. That's Sayin Alocha, Sayin Agoda. It's very tempting to put everything into one chant and just mish l'chaim to him in the shalom. Because we're much later. And we have a whole bunch of more baggage than only the Rambam when we see the Rambam. And we project all that on our perspective when we learn the Rambam. So now, when you learn Rambam, you have to try to learn Rambam without any other influence, primarily because it completely corrupts the Rambam. Dugma ledovar. Now, first of all, says what's so important to the Rambam that we should learn the mitzvahs and suchoiv? So, according to the Rambam, this is a moira multiple times, and I assume the Rebbe has a moira, but unfortunately it doesn't. Come on, but so the Rambam says like this multiple times. According to the Rambam, we have to understand the Rambam has. We all know that the Rambam has his shita and Tchias HaMesim, right? The Rambam has his shita and Tchias HaMesim that in his generation nobody understood. Meaning the people who interacted with him is the Ravid, it's Rabban Mulunil, the whole company. The Oilam had the Kinters, the Kinters of the Riyaz. They all had tremendous problems with this Rambam. Now, the Indian is if you be'emes learn the Rambam's whole perspective on Olam Haba, the reason why they didn't understand it is because they were not Greek philosophers, and the Rambam's Olam Haba is so influenced by it that it's very hard for someone who's coming out of the Gemara to appreciate the Rambam's Olam Haba. And without going too much into it, the Rambam's idea of Asharas HaNefesh is that everything in this world is mechuyev to fall apart. Okay, that's versteht sich based on Greco-Roman thought, Greek thought. Okay, so everything that's mechuber from something has to break apart at a certain point. Now, the only thing that's nitzchi is Hashem. And let's call it the Seichel HaPoel for now. Okay, the Seichel HaPoel is the abstract, nitzchi is the higher hasaga in emes, and that's nitzchis. And for so weit that a person taps into nitzchis thought, and for so weit that you connect yourself to nitzchis, that's how much nitzchis you have. If you're a tzaddik your whole life, you didn't do a single aver, you did every mitzvah, according to Rambam, you have no chedek l'olam haba. If you never tapped into the Seichel HaPoel, if your Seichel in this world never connected to nitzchis, you just never had where to acquire nitzchis. And that is a big problem. And but kids, it's that's the whole Olam Haba and Hanakoma Hagdoila of chorus that no it is that you don't have a hemshech. That's where everything is in that realm. Everything according to the Rambam goes to that kibbutz. Therefore, the Rambam says many times that the whole point of the Torah is to be miyasher yadas. The yadas should be able to connect the Seichel HaPoel. That way you'll have a charas nefesh. That way you'll be masik. Everything brings to das. Every single mitzvah in the Torah eventually is to either refine either das itself, to reshape your das, or to refine a character. That way you'll have a deeper appreciation and you'll be able to be masik the das. But it's all going in that kibbutz. Because that's what everything boils down to. If you want to learn this parak, Aliba the Rambam, that's what this parak is saying. And he says it clearly 2 parakim before and 3 parakim before, and he says it all the way at the end of the Murray, he says it again. So, fine. That was just, you can skip that if that gives you a headache. But you might want to listen because it might give you Seichel HaPoel, so fine. Now, let's go to no, and that's the whole broken telephone that's going on when we're talking about the Rambam's Tchias HaMesim, that it seems that Mamish people are not talking to each other and not having the same conversation is because their olam haba of the Tzarfatim are coming from one place, and the Rambam has a whole different idea that if you don't have the tools to appreciate it, you'll never get to that place. Fine.
Can I ask a very silly question?
Yeah.
But there's many instances in the Torah itself where it's not talking, but the purpose of the Torah, the purpose of fulfilling what the Torah says is not for any Chai mitzvahs, it's for Olam Hazeh.
Okay.
There's no class.
Some boundaries with that.
Okay.
Right.
Wait, no.
But in the Rambam, if the Rambam is a fundamentalist, totalist, in the purpose of any mitzvah or anything or any kedusha that's out of the Torah is solely for a das in a future world or whatever it is, then how do you reconcile that with very clear implications of reasons to do things that are in the Torah for this world?
No, so first of all, forget. The Rambam is the Mord Shmaitze.
That's my question.
This, yes. Don't go all the way to the word he was trying to say before. But do what you're saying, yes, because forget. Not only you could say it, that's exactly what the Rambam is saying here. The Rambam is saying is that every proti is the mitzvah, even a choik, is for a tachlis in this world. Nothing is for Yanavel. Forget. Punkt forget.
For this world, that eventually
Right. So no, I'm not about punkt forget. There's nothing that I can't. There's nothing that doesn't have a tachlis here and now. Nothing. There's not a single mitzvah in the Torah that doesn't have a tachlis here and now. Forget. According to the Chalkim and the Rambam, we don't know anything. And if there's a tachlis in the mitzvah b'chalal, lav davke. Maybe according to the Chalkim and the Rambam, the mitzvahs are just. Now, don't get offended, but the mitzvahs are completely random. They're just no shaykhs. They were done by raffle. They have absolutely there's no reason ultimately, according to Rashi, why you should be shalech hasem and why you shouldn't. Punkt. There is inherently no reason. I want to say this as much as it could hurt. There is it's completely senseless. According to Rashi, the mitzvahs are senseless. Wegen der Gzeres. So
He might have all this
maybe he had. It's a good theory as much as he has a little green beard. It could be, it could not be. Does he have a green beard? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not. Why yes?
Why, yeah, because
Now I understand what you're saying. You're saying it's inherently because it happens to be there's a time, but in concept, there's no reasoning behind
And that time, by the way, the more you say it, the more corrupt you become. So don't say it, Meshatik or so. If I hear you in shul, I'm going to be Meshatik you. You have to understand, what I want to say is according to Rashi, the mitzvahs of the Torah are completely, I love the sentence, they're senseless. They are completely, there's nothing there. Nothing.
where do you see that in Rashi? We don't know the sense, but there is a sense.
Why? You have a defense. Listen, I'm not arguing with you. I think what you're saying is beautiful Jewish thought, and you're a gewaltige Talmud of the Rambam. But you have to go back to a time when you read this. Okay, no problem. So now, right, we have a person here. What you're saying is, let me just be. I want to bring out what you want to say. I want to fine tune. I want to say it on. I want to say it on the Kloy oil. So I want to. First of all, hold on. So I want to fine tune. I want to clarify your birshuscha. What you're saying is also, avade it's gzeres, and that should be our thought, and that should be our mahalach. But to say that the Eibush is playing dice, lo ya'ala das. Adkan. Mechtes. Why? That what? There's no Seichel HaYosh over here. That what? What is the agenda? I'm asking you a question. According to Rashi, what is the agenda? The agenda is you should be an Eved. If I'm here to make you an Eved, and I want to be koiveya in your nefesh.
I have to know that my Uda is
No, because you're looking at this playing dice. I want you to do it. I want you to make 0 sense.
According to Rashi, the Eibishter wants one thing. Avadayim. He wants you to be an Eved. If he has a reason why he's giving it to you, why would you say that? Why yes? The whole point of the Torah, meaning as well, we have to understand, we have two different agendas. Okay, Chavre, let's. I think we went over this point.
I want to talk on one point.
Yeah.
You guys that there's no reason, there has to be a reason why, even within Shua, again, we're talking about the Chala Mitzvah first, because that hasn't been addressed. The overarching question, coming back to earlier, we don't have, there may be multiple reasons why we can rationalize, understand mitzvahs. The bottom line is we'll never understand why the Torah does chose a bird and not a cat, right?
In whose position are you coming?
In the Ramban, where you
How do you see me learning the Rambam?
There always has to be some fundamental reason.
1 minute, that you can understand. That the guy, not you, I'm sorry, the guy that works in the grocery can understand, and that is the true, hold on, according to the Rambam, by the way, that is the true reason of the mitzvah. There's no reason to say anything beyond that.
Within that,
Okay.
will we ever be able to get to understand why the Torah chooses Daled meaning and not Shmoina meaning? No, there isn't. We can't.
Yes, you could. Then you didn't learn the Daled meaning well enough. Because if you learn the Daled meaning well enough, then you understand. Not Pashut why. Because you gave me one of this. The Rambam does this for a living. This is.
You'll always be able to ask. You could have added another one because there's infinite possibilities.
You're right, but you're going to be a pest. Again, that's according to the Rambam. The Rambam is going to say, just would you tell this to your neighbor?
Fundamentally, you are. That's all. I'm just.
No, I'm happy.
To the kernel of the thought.
Right.
Understand it. Why do we have Shulchan Ken by a bird and not by a donkey? Why? I don't know.
That's a good question. So first of all, according to the Rambam, you have it in animals also.
Okay.
Right? Meaning, okay, I get your point. Yes, you are. No, you're Mekayim the mitzvah. Let's go. Zog the Heilige Rambam. No, because the Lois say. Zog the Heilige Rambam. Ki yikore kan tibel v'necha gam mitzvah zoy mevueres, and here's what I meant when I said that it's part of the mitzvah. Me'oisiv benoi. So Zog the Ramban, it's the same mitzvah as Oisiv benoi. Yishluch haken for animals, and lo shishlu b'yamechot. Right? That's the same concept. Oisiv benoi. Look like here yikore tibel v'necha. So here's the same thing. Ki tam b'shneim levilti ayois lonu leivach zari v'lo nerachem. So the time of both of these mitzvahs, Oisiv benoi and Shluch haken, have the same underlying concept. And that is, don't be an oxen. Don't take a mother in front of its children. So the Ramban is saying two very, very, very different reasons. Both obviously are rationalizing, but they're extremely different. One is, meaning, if we come after this Rambam that we saw, so the Rambam basically says that all mitzvahs of the Torah fall into three categories. Yeah. But the Ramban is a Talmud of the Rambam, not whatever, but you could call he's a Talmud in every single way. And yet, as every good Talmud, he has a mind of his own. But the Rambam says that every mitzvah has either it's to be miyashir your das, your midas, or society. So the Ramban over here is going with one, either midas or society. Those are his two options. And one is, don't be an achzer. Take away emal abanim. That's just oisiv es benoi. Oisiv es benoi is a feeling that every single person that has it this small of an heart can feel. You're shechting the mother in front of the kid in front of them. It's terrible. It's vicious. Why are you shechting? Look, the mother is watching. What are you doing? Right? So we connect to that. And the Rambam says that is the Ratzon Torah. The Ratzon Torah is that when you see oisiv es benoi, you're going to shecht it. The Torah says, no, what are you doing? It's not shkarusha. Wait. That is A. B is from a preservation perspective, Pira Exhibit A, and that is we don't want the extinction of all the animals. And if we could shecht all the animals together, then we're just going to destroy the whole life in the world, and we don't want to do that. So you want to eat. Don't shecht more than you need to eat. True, but now you're here. Now you're here. Tomorrow you're not going to be here. Again, now you're here. Tomorrow you're not here. So that is hold on, here is just a magnificent line in the Ramban. So after the shchita is in Nishbeseder. If you take the whole nest and you destroy a nest, what you just did is you just destroyed all the birds. And the wild pigeon in America is Exhibit A for that, the bird that there used to be, I think, 3 billion of them here in America, and now they're completely extinct. They don't exist anymore. That's a different bird. So now it disappeared. It is just they killed it to extinction, like everything else the Americans did, and whatever. Let's not go there. Now, but there's a beautiful lotion of the Ramban over here, and that is just, it's very poetic. That's why I want to stress this. If you clip someone's wings, you kill them. Okay? There's nothing left. So that's just gewaldig poetic. Let's move on. Okay? So that is the reason. So again, when I'm asking the Rambam, why shalach ze'em v'zabonim tikach lo yisikhem alabonim, the Ramban says lo yisikhem alabonim because you don't want to be achzer. So now he goes in deeper into this. Because the Ramban Devorim is not this Rambam, it's a different Rambam. Because the Ramban Devorim, Kitam Shluch Hakan V'Tam Ois V'Zbana Zishtu B'Yam Echad. Again, you see where the Ramban is coming from. That you shouldn't shecht the bein in front of the mother. Because the animals care. Oh, how beautiful. There's no difference between the Rachmanis you have, the love you have for your child, and the Rachmanis that the cow has for its calf. There is no difference. They both come from the same place. They're both hergish. And their hergish is the same hergish. It's not, there's nothing different. When you see them crying, and it's the same thing. There's nothing to do with it. That's not unique to humanity. There's no shaykhis.
Animals have emotion.
Animals, not exactly. Not animals have emotions. You're an animal that has seichel.
Emotion that we feel.
Exactly, and it's the emotion that the animals feel.
It's a feeling of empathy. Animals don't have
So you're
empathy.
saying emotion
What?
is animals.
Animals don't have empathy. It's not real empathy.
Hold on.
He's saying that Mitzvos is no different.
And therefore what? Hold on. And therefore what?
He's having a hard time with the fact that.
Okay, fine.
I'm saying the same way that the child doesn't have the same feeling.
So it's a big
as an
machlokes.
adult. It does have seichel.
So the scientists Bisman Hazeh have a tremendous machlokes on this noise. In the world of science today, there's a mamish gewaldige machlokes about this, and this machlokes happened a few years ago when there was in Orlando, I think it was in SeaWorld, there was an orca. I'm almost sure. Don't. There was an orca that killed the trainer. And then that's written against machlokes in science. I'm talking about legit peer-reviewed science journals. And the shaila was why this happened. And one camp was saying that this all happened because it was vengeance. Meaning they analyzed every movement of this whale. And there was a part of it that was mamish vengeful. It acted like no whale would ever act. And the whales don't act like that. And the only reason why it's finished, genig is genig, you didn't give me food now, because they made a whole marach about this. The other scientists are saying, you're projecting. Nothing happened. You start projecting your emotions on the animals. It's a machlokes. I personally side, I think, common sense. Again, just like I think Das Balabatam is not Hepech Das Torah, I don't think that Das Balabatam has to be Hepech Das Science. I don't think that if you can say something cruel, it makes it more true. I think that the pashtas that every person thinks is the pashtas that the Rambam is saying, is that animals love their children like we do. Look at the videos of the elephants. You're going to project over it that it's David Attenborough's voice and it's not really the animal's. Look, you see it's crying, you see it's making me show you. You have to be blind not to see it.
There are animals that are.
No, so what they're saying is that it's all projection. You can't say anything.
Same camp that's trying to build up kids.
Orca is the most intelligent animal.
If it doesn't make a difference, now you're projecting. It's a shayla ma'utit.
So even the human doesn't have the rachmanis. The dumber it is, it doesn't have rachmanis.
So bon amshich. Okay? So now the Rambam says, so first, this is a fact that, no das disagree, meaning Rashi doesn't, this can be true, but there's nothing to shlich again. So let's see. So he says Azoi. The behemoth is Azoi. V'im kain, oy bazoi, that this, according to the Rambam, that the reason why the Torah says loisik reim alabonim and oisev esbenoi loisishlo b'yamachet is because the behemoth have rachmanos, and be'etzem the Torah, the Eibishter has rachmanos. That's really where we're gonna have to shtel avek over here what the Rambam wants to say, that the Ramban is learning the Rambam that be'etzem the Eibishter says that it's vicious, so don't do it. So the Ramban says I have a problem with that. V'im kain, ein ikar iser b'oisev esbenoi rak b'benoi v'oisev. So the Isser would only be by B'nai V'Oisei, according to the Rambam. Because we all know that the B'nai is not crying the same amount when you shecht its mother.
Do you know the mother?
Exactly. So the problem is only by B'nai V'Oisei. In Memela, so what's that? So the Rambam over here is saying a whole conversation that he's having with himself in a half a line. So he's saying it's like this. According to the Rambam, what's the Rambam going to answer? Basically, what the Rambam is going to come back and say is that look. Okay, that's really what the Rambam is going to say. That's how the Ramban is sort of defending the Rambam, right? What he's saying is like this. According to the Rambam, it doesn't make sense. Meaning, we don't want you to get involved in the whole thing of Emal. You're right, the time is only a one, but the point is, nor as be'etzim, when that according to the logic of the Rambam, that the reason is because the mother has rachmanos, then it's only again when you take the child first, not when you take the mother first.
The child has a chilus on the pants,
Eh.
maybe not as strong.
I guess the Ramban, whoever learned the daf this week also saw that it's not like that. So, weiter. Yeah, the daf with the birds, why you don't have to leave the children for the next generation. Fine. Einsham. Now, steht das so. Wie Yosef noch, Baba Shalom Nesachze. Sagt der Ramban, it's good, so besser. The reason is not because the Torah has a Rachmanos be'etzem, not because the Eibush has Rachmanos. It's because we shouldn't become an Achze. And when we do this, we become an Achze. The Omer Harav. The Al Toshev Elayma Mimamar Chachomim. Ha'omer HaKanti V'gir Rachmecha. L'choyer is a gewaltige kashe.
This Baruch Shalom's answer is complete spirit to what the Rambam, to his understanding of the Rambam said. It's nothing to do. We don't know whether they have emotions or not. We don't know whether they love us because we don't want you to behave.
No, because when you maybe because when you do something, meaning if it doesn't feel like people look at cockroaches, then they don't feel. But here, when you see that it has an emotion, that's how you become an achzer. When do you become an achzer?
When you do something to an animal that you wouldn't like, that's when you become an achzer.
No, because do you think? I'm asking you a question. Do you think that killing a cockroach with your feet have the same achzorious effect as Oisev's Benoy? Is that going to make you an achzer? Even according to Ramban, I think that's what he's saying. He's saying that this is making you an achzer. What's making you an achzer? Because you're seeing what's happening over here. You're doing it anyway. That makes you an achzer. In the Ramban, it says him first later. He says him first. Let's not get
Who's
stop.
talking Omar Rav?
Omar Rav is the Ramban talking. The Rav is the Rebbe Chesilani in Ramban. And that's the Ramban. And yeah, the Ramban Kiyudua in his letter to Chacham Elunil, always. When his letters, not is it Chacham Elunil to Ben Yon? So there's a hesped that the Ramban writes in the Rambam, and he writes that Halo Yudua, that in Eretz Teman they say by Kaddish B'chayechen V'meichen V'chayder Ben Moshe B'mayim, it's part of the davening. Meaning he's trying to tell avek how Givaldik, whatever. It's a beautiful marocha that he has over there in the Rambam. That's defending the Rambam when they burnt Sefer Hamad. They didn't burn the entire Rambam. It's not true. I don't think there's ever a record of anyone burning Rambam. The only book burnings that were done with the Rambam were Sefer Hamad and Moreh Nevuchim. Those were the primary offenders. And what?
The crime burned the whole Rambam.
Oh, the crime. The Rishonim.
The Shoyim
Oh, the Karayim Bechlal had an axe to grind to the Rambam because the Rambams don't know where they're going. Before the Rambam Karayim were Eden in every sense of the word. But Reb Sadi wasn't even up to Mamish, up to the Kufas Rambam, the Karayim intermarried, and even later, Reb Bartanura writes in his letters, Darketzion, the way he describes the Karayim and Mitzrayim with the Eden, Mamish. No, they said we have now from the Geniza, we have Ksubas, the double Ksubas, right? You have okay, let's not get this. Now, Reb Sadia, according to the Geniza, perhaps should have lost the Vikoach, but that's not for now. So, V'omar Harav, V'al Toshev Elay Memamar HaChachomim, Ha'omer HaKanti V'gir Rachmecha. So now this is the big problem we have with the Rambam all along. Zok, the Rambam himself, you're right, that is 100% against what I'm saying, that's against everything I believe, aber, Zoachs Mishtei Svaros. Svaros Mishir Kein Tam L'Mitzvah, Chefetz HaBoire, V'anachnu Machzikim B'Svara Shniya She'ach Kol B'Mitzvah Tam. The Rambam is saying, it's a Machloikis in the Gemara. In other words, the Rambam learns like Rashi, and if you don't agree that Rashi learns like Rashi, the Rambam learns like Rashi. And the Rambam says that the Mandaomer that says that the mitzvah xeris and you can't give reason, the Rambam says it's true. That's exactly what he's saying, and I don't agree with him. So there is a Deyan Chazal according to the Rambam that says exactly faket the Rambam, and that is Ein b'mitzvah stam elo chayfetz habayir. These are beautiful words. Elo chayfetz habayir. The Rambam over here is explaining the tzad shekeneged, and the Rambam is saying is that the agenda of the Torah, according to the Cholkim, is Chayfetz Habayra. Valcha geheißen. Ich will also. That's it. Adkan. Zog the Rambam, it's a legitimate opinion. I disagree. I go with all their opinion. V'anachnu machzikim b'svara shniya sheyeh b'chol ha'mitzvos tam. Where does the Rambam find another such a shita and shas?
So that was not going to be the first sheet, though.
Maybe. I know. I verstehe it, but.
It makes sense.
I get it, but whatever. You don't have a riot from here that's what he thinks. But okay, fine. Meaning, if you want to run away, you can say it. Fine. This is where I let you come back into the courtroom. This is where we're discussing this. So now, what we brought against the Rambam is this Gemara. The Rambam says, you're right, good, but I disagree. And that's mamish, that's the Rambam says. That the Cholkim ask Nacha Kasha. It says, the Medrash says, the Eibush cares. You checked from the Tzarav, you checked from the Orev, Tzarav, who cares? This is Nevela, this is Tomer, this is Treif, this makes you a Shegit, and this is Givaldik. The Eibush cares. You think Malcham Lochem is taking care of this whole operation, and he could care what you did, you checked like this, you checked like that. You didn't feel a sapayim in the right hand and the left hand. I remember this stam bothering me when I was 14. You care. Like this, who cares? Why do you care about such petty things? It's petty. So the Medrash says it is petty. You're right. What does letzaref mean? Refine. Right? When you're refining special metals, you want to take out the bad, right? You're refining it. The mitzvahs, the agenda of the mitzvahs, the point, the tachlis of being mekayim a mitzvah. Any mitzvah, chilas matzah, lulav, tzedakah, matonas ladyonim, whatever it is. The reason is letzaref b'mesabriz to refine you. Zog the Medrash. That's why if you're going to start analyzing, you're wasting your time. There's nothing there. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing there. You know what's there? Avodah. That's it. And anything beyond that, you're wasting your time. Why? Think about the audacity of these words. If I would say it, you would crucify me. The Eibush that cares you at chometz et matzah. This you have to read. Meaning, the Rambam is using this and he's applying this as a binyan av, right? He's not applying this as a shchita. This is, according to the Rambam, a kasha that you're asking on me, because in this Medrash state fakir. So whoever's asking this kasha on the Rambam sees this as a binyan av in the whole time. If you put on tefillin or you didn't, or if you nothing, he doesn't care. And the teretz of the Medrash, he doesn't care. There's nothing in the tefillin that's going to make you a better person. There's nothing there. What is there is I want to refine you. I want to make you a good Eved. I want to make you a Avodah Hashem. You should have tattooed on your arm, I'm a Eved Hashem. That's it. So now the Ramban says, okay, so we had our dose of Rambam for the day. This is Shittas Rambam. This is Shittas Rambam in Mitzvah Shluch Haken, and it's beautiful and it's Gevaldik, and we finished off with a Gevaldik Kash on the Rambam. So the Ramban says, true, but we want to make it work.
We know the Zohar exists.
Right, okay, mask. So, this, again, and this is what's why I'm stressing this again. Meaning the Cholkim on the Rav say, ain't the mitzvah's tam. And now you want to say that it has a tam, just you don't know it, no, none of that. It's either yesh le mitzvah's tam or ain't le mitzvah's tam. It's either there's a reason and an agenda, or it's completely random. Meaning, just like you understand that Medrash is implying that it's absolutely meaningless, and the Torah could have just as well told you Shechita and Arif, and it wouldn't make zero difference. The Kasha Blat Chagit the Kasha. Imritz Alahat Tzrufa. So what's the teretz? Teretz is, if I would have done the other way, you would have asked me the other way. So I have to pick one. So I picked that one. Right? That's what Shtei done. So Zenish goes around. Mitzvah Yeshlam Tam Mevur Humo Oit. Every single mitzvah has a tam and a reason, a toyeles and a tikkun for the person. We're not getting into Olam Haba. We're talking about what it does for you, and it does for you something. Every single mitzvah does something to you. And this is where the Gemara makes the slippery slope argument. Because look at the ones that were in this gala and look what happened. Shlomo HaMelech and Co. is v'dorshu l'michsa osik ze megala dom shkizat. The Gemara says that you're not allowed to be megala tamei Torah. The Rambam is a terrible offender of this issue. Primarily because the Rambam knows that the whole entire Torah could only be appreciated if you are megala tamei Torah. I'll call upon him because, and again, this is mamish this argument that we were talking before. Because the second you know tamei Torah, then you're going to rationalize that you're an exception to the rule. Right? That's a very simple thing. If I tell you that you can't speed in a school zone, now on Sundays you could speed, right? It's a Parsha 1+1, and there's no reason why. Not only all rules of exceptions, the rules are only there for a certain reason, and if not, the rules like a trillion again, like speeding Sunday and speeding on Sunday, right? I mean, the Torah is not talking to me. Shlomo Melech says, "I'm so smart." The Torah is not talking to me, right? This is what the Gemara is talking. They're talking about Shlomo Melech, right? The Torah is I'm so smart. The Torah is not. I'm not the one that the Torah is talking to. Yosel above it. וכבר דורשו בפרה אדומה, שאמר שלוימה על הכל למדתי בפרשת פרה אדומה, חקרתי ושאלתי פשפשתי, אמרת איך אם יחקור כממני, ואומר לי בסבכנין, אמר לקדוש ברוך הוא למשה לך אני מגל אותם הפרה ולכן הם חוקה. תקסיב, בוא ביאמר, לא יודע כזה, פה אני פעם כסיב, דור מחוץ ומקיים באדם הזה, עשינו לספום לעולם הבא. כדהן צמי דספר. It's like the blind person that could see. Again, what are we saying? A whole bunch of Amar Chazal, that they're Tamei Mitzvahs, but we don't know them. The Tamei Mitzvahs, Shlomo Melech doesn't know them. We don't know them. And again, the Rambam is bringing about the Gerai. Shlomo Melech says, Chakarti. And I was oimed on every single time of every single mitzvah. Shtei do. Right? The Rambam is bringing this right himself. Or the Ramban is. I think the Rambam himself. But you can find the Chazal for everything. Again, but this is exactly, there is that position that there definitely are Tamei Torah. Now, if I understand them, I don't understand them. Say that depends on me. That depends maybe in what the Eibush is Megala to me, in my intellect. It can depend on a billion things. But inherently, there's a tam. For those who are masik the tam, there is a tam. That means that there's a method to the madness. There's no ma'ich lo Kadosh Baruch Hu. No, ichpes ve'ichpes. Because this is going to bring a gewisse te'elas. You might not know it. Now again, this is something that, if we're going to go, okay, let's finish this paragraph.
Yeah. He's going away further from that Rambam.
That what?
Goyzlos can sing if it's only a goy that can reach that much.
No. First of all, zwei Sachen. First of all, it says here that you could get the Chukei Torah, not on Shlomo Melech. The shaila is over here. Does it exist or does it not exist?
It has to exist the level of
First of all, I want to know if it exists. Wait a minute. Does it exist or does it not exist? So now we started like it exists. So now let's say the guy looks and he sees this chevra for some reason. They're just different. Okay? He doesn't even have to pinpoint what. If it's random, then it doesn't do anything to the chevra.
It takes a group of people
And it makes them a shubad, it makes them avodim. It makes them a slave nation.
Even Rashi says that will still say that it
I'm not
refines
masking.
it. It refines it.
The same, but that's a very specific mila. But that doesn't mean that they're balech sodim. It doesn't mean they're rachmanim, baishanim.
Of course you see that they're Rishon.
No, he doesn't.
Because it turns them into.
Why?
Because look at that.
Who says that that's... So what you're saying... hold on, I want to, because I like what you're saying, and I like it and I don't like it at the same time. What you're saying is also, it's completely random. But a byproduct, collateral damage of being Mekayim the Torah is that it makes you a better society. You can't say such a thing.
Rashi was sure how that way. Rashi said,
I absolutely didn't know it like that. Meaning, that position... What? Why? But it's so random.
If I stood in court defending Rashi, that's what Rashi would explain. But the Goyim are going to say. That's what Rashi would explain. Why would the Goyim say that? Because look at that.
So you know what? I want to go with you.
The biggest lie is, look today. The Farahid is smarter.
So I'm here to...
Even though he doesn't do it.
Wait a minute. So I want to stress what you're saying.
So I'm a So how much more
By the way, according to your law, right? Who's that law over there? That's your brother, right? You just listen. I want to tell you like this. Faket, gerade, according here, they're going to flip sides because according to Rashi, V'siato, they believe that the Eibush is really a Racham. It's the Rambam who makes the Eibush the Ois Racham. Some, again, Rambam believe the Rambam, Rashi believe the Rashi. To say, according to the Rambam, that the Eibush is a Rachman is kfir mamish. The Eibush is zero Rachman, just like he's a Rachman and an Achzer Shavah B'Shavah. It's zero. It's not negate. You can't talk about the Eibush in that sense, B'chla. Okay, you have to go to Uber Rambam. The Eibush, there's nothing. You can't attribute anything to the Eibush. Everything that you're saying is on Hogus that the Eibush has to the world, and it's not real. It's not bad. According to the Cholikim. That's all in the way that the Eibush is on Hoga is with you. I don't mean Rashi Dafke. I mean according to not such a philosophic Yiddishkeit, then the Eibush could be Rachman. Yeah, no problem saying the Eibush is a Rachman. What's the problem saying the Eibush is a Rachman? The whole problem that you have that you're gonna be magbal the Eibush You understand? I know, but you don't have when you come and tell that raid of being marked by the Eibishter, you're talking post Rambam. You're talking from a philosophic perspective that saying something is limiting something, and like you're going into the whole plant of Rambam. You said the Perek Aleph, where everything is. This is things that Yidden and the Gemara they don't think like that. They're not so. They don't think so scientific. They don't make. It's like the Ravid that says on the Eibush is Guf, right? The Rambam says you believe it's Guf. You don't know Chelik L'Lam Habe. So the Ravid. Gedolim v'Tovim Mimenu. Gedolim v'Tovim Mimenu. Now the Ravid concedes that it's a mistake, but he says Gedolim v'Tovim Mimenu. Thought so. What? No. The Shaila is does the Eibush have a long white beard or not? Meaning as well, the Shaila is does the Eibush like the Nil describes the Eibush's beard being snow white? Okay, that the pasuk in the Nil. Is that real?
No. We go with the thought that no.
Who's we?
Post
Which Eden?
Only after the Rambam.
Which Eden? Post the Rambam Eden. Understand that as a pashtus because the Rambam did this stuff. Now, he wasn't the first, but it was not universal. Bechlal. And I can bring you sources primarily in Yehadis Ashkenaz that mamish don't talk like that. Mamish don't talk. Right. The whole anthropomorphism. Now we have to understand this. The Rambam Moreh Nevuchim Chelik Aleph, the whole Rambam Moreh Nevuchim Chelik Aleph is to hammer this into Klal Yisrael's conscience. And there's a biggie side that if you have 1,000 kashas and you have to for every single thing, then maybe you're just wrong. Right? Maybe if you have 70 prokim to explain something to me, and you have maybe you're wrong. Maybe Taka. You have 70 prokim from Chelik Aleph. Every single parak come out with the same tachlis tell you now you thought the Torah says XYZ. It's not what it means. It means something else. So that coming down and this coming down and nothing means anything. So if nothing means anything, like everyone learned till now until you shut up to the scene. And that's a very legitimate response to the Rambam. Now, the Rambam thinks that if you hold like them, then you're gone. Noshem v'amayor, it's maybe for a short period until you mature, and then if you stay with that, then you're gone. Again, because according to the Rambam, you could be the biggest tzaddik, the biggest kaddish v'torah, you could do all the mitzvahs in the Torah and not be over a single avera. If you weren't masik the seichel HaPoel, if you weren't masik any emes in your life, you have no asharas hanefesh. Okay, it's all interconnected. We're mamish getting off those. Okay, so what does the Ramban now bring to support? By the way, we're not going to go home anytime soon. So if you want to go home, you go Gesundheit. Zog the Ramban. I don't know. Zog the Ramban. Hold on, let's go.
You gotta start before 8:45.
Zog the Ramban Azoy. So the Ramban brings all these rayas that the mitzvahs have tamim, just we don't know them. Okay? The reason why we don't know Tamei Torah is not because they inherently don't have Tamei Torah, it's because we are limited. That's very different. Now this is the Ramban, this is what I think everyone wanted to say initially, but the Ramban is saying this to explain it's a Rambam against other sheet. So this is the Rambam defending himself, and this is the Rambam bringing all these rayas, and he's saying that faket it's muvur chazal that the mitzvahs have tamim. And again, once we say the mitzvahs have tamim, then we know the mitzvahs have tamim for our betterment. And to the extent where the goyim are going to see, they're going to say, and finished. אבל אלו הגודש הזה נשקש ועל הרב, צריך להגיד את הקשה from the Rambam, כפידתי הנה נחלם, שרוצה לא יאמר, שאין התאלס במצווס לקדוש ברוך הוא בעצמו יסוד. So here, he's בעצם going on both of these, both of the Gemara, side one שלך, כן side the other one. saying as אבל התאלס באדם עצמו למנוע ממנו נזק לאמון הרוע עם מדמגון. או לסכם מהמנסם תלויס יסבורך לדעס השם. She gives like 5 different things that could be the general tachlios of the mitzvahs. Yeah, למנוע תאלס, למנוע נזק, לדעס השם, לזכר ליציאת מצרים, and so on. Okay, so the Ramban is saying that when the Chazal say ma'ich b'sloi l'kadosh baruch hu, it means that he is not affected. The Eibishter Baruch Hu is not affected by anything in the world. And it's not affected if you keep the Torah or not. The whole world doesn't affect him. The whole Zach is not negayah for him. Nor was, nor in his rotzen, he wanted to create people, and those people he wanted, they should reflect a certain Indian, they should reflect his presence in the world, and these people should be miyuched in 5 different, and get this final product. Then he has mitzvahs that have gewaltige time, and every single one of them has a time, and every single one of them is a time that's at the elders of the person that's going to transform the person that's going to do it.
If Be'etzem, if there's no, if Hashem is, so Be'etzem Rahman is not so. Hashem doesn't care Rahman.
Wait,
Rahman is Be'etzem, that means Be'etzem Rahman is not a good thing.
you're not. No. Okay,
No
now,
Be'etzem more.
don't over philosophize this. Okay, let's be very normal. Okay, now when we're saying that the Torah gives, the Ramban is saying over here is like this. When Chazal say that the Eibishter doesn't care, or that you would saying so implies that the Eibishter cares, the problem over here isn't meaning. So what you should deduce from that isn't that the mitzvahs be'etzem are chayfetz haboyer and that's it. No, the word is that you're implying that the Eibishter be'emes himself cares. Capital H. He cares. Now, lemana emes, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care if the whole world goes up in smoke. What the Ratzon Hashem is that you should be a certain type of person. And the mitzvah is going to make you that person. And therefore, for you, it makes a tremendous difference if you're an achzer or not. You can't make an argument that if it doesn't make a difference if you're an achzer.
Why? But why is the achzer a bad thing?
What don't you understand?
Maybe the achzer is a good thing.
No, because
Then
first of all,
then why does Hashem care?
Hashem, again, to say Hashem. So
I gotta have an answer.
no, I don't want to answer. Hold on, let's.
I have an answer which will merge Rashi and
I don't want to go there.
Maybe Achzer is a good thing. You know why Achzer is a bad thing? Because Hashem said it's a bad thing. Hashem could have said Achzer is a good thing.
You know what you're doing? What you're doing is you're taking the Rambam and you're making him the Chalei Nefesh that he doesn't want to be. What you're saying is that there has to be something that exeris hakosov. There's no exeris hakosov. Every normal person in the world understands the tachlis of not being an
No,
arzer.
I have a problem with the Rambam. I have a problem with the Ramban. Before the Ramban, we understood that Hashem cares. It makes a difference. It all matters, and Hashem cares, and therefore Hashem wants you to be better because it is better. You're telling me now that Hashem doesn't care.
No.
If Hashem doesn't
That's
care,
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that no. What I'm saying is let me fine tune what I'm saying. I'm saying is that the Ramban is saying like this. The te'eles of the mitzvah is not being moil to the Eibishter, it's being moil to you. That's what he's saying. That's it. Okay? What he's saying is that it's not affecting the Eibishter in any way, it's affecting you. It's not bringing a te'eles to the Eibishter, it's bringing a te'eles to you. And when you go to the mitzvah,
But Hashem cares.
no. So what do you mean Hashem cares? Zamaz with the minds. Meaning Hashem cares. Let's just say.
Be'etzem good. You can't say about the Be'etzem Akzaris is a bad thing, and Be'etzem caring about other people, empathy, whatever, is a good thing. And it's
Yes,
not, or you can say no, it's only a good thing and a bad thing only because the Torah said so. If not, the morals would have been completely the opposite.
Okay, so I don't like. I want to stay out of that. Jump.
Otherwise, how do you take it? How does the Rambam take it to the next step? That Hashem gave us the mitzvah that we should be better.
Right.
How are we better if it is what makes it better?
It's
Well,
better.
why is it better?
I'm asking you why it's better.
How do I? Because I know that it's better.
No, I'm asking the guy in the street why he thinks it's better.
Because the fact is that because we care about these things. Because we like when people are empathetic. We don't. Because
So in
naturally
the world,
we care about these
so
things.
in this world, this is a better person, and that's an evil person, and that's something everyone understands.
But
And
Hashem doesn't.
it's intuitive.
Intuitive. So that
What?
why? Because it's the MS.
Who tell you forget?
Because it's the MS. Only
First of all, I want to defend Machiavelli. Don't do that to him. It's not what he said. He's not the monster. He's not that monster. It's not true. He chlor. Okay.
You know how you know that it's good and bad? Because little babies.
Right. So and hold on. So now let's just. So the Ramban is fine tuning the Rambam, and he's saying like this: when we say that, so Avada, the Rambam is 100% right. The mitzvahs are here for a time and a tachlis, and we can be massive the time if you work. If the time is, it's approachable, right? You see, smart people not only through nevuah, chachomim were masik, neviim were masik. They're there to be comprehended. The goyim are masik. They're there. The tam mitzvahs are there to be comprehended. Now again, and I want to stress this again, that the difference between saying they have a tam and not a tam is 90% of the gisha to the mitzvah. It's the gisha is, am I doing this l'shem yichud to transform myself? And that's why I'm doing it, because I want to bring the Eretz that the Torah gave me b'tchila, and I want to tap into that, or I just want to be Eved Hashem. Now, Zog the Ramban, that there's Mamorei Chazal that sound not like the Rambam, but don't get fakrach. Really, what the Chazal mean to say is that they're not moil for the Eibishter, like the pasuk in Eve, the most beautiful pasuk. Im tzedakta matitalo mami otcha tikach. If you're a big tzaddik, who cares? You didn't give him anything. So, yeah, mamish in this position. Im tzedakta matitalo. You're a big tzaddik. So what? Is my pesigi like no? So that is the position. Nor was, nor in this world, klape you became a better person. Meaning, you give tzedakah $1,000, and you say, you know what, Hashem? You had a good day today. Hashem says, no, I didn't. You had a good day today. That's the conversation. So let's go right there. Now, the truth is, ba'omek, our good day and the Eibishter's good day are very, very interconnected because we represent him. So ultimately, it is connected. But the shaila is if the specific tamei mitzvahs. That's what I think we have to spalt over here between the macro Eibishter caring, let's call it, and the micro tamei mitzvahs the Eibishter caring. The macro, let's say the Eibishter cares if we're Am Chacham and Ava Goyal Atam Tilim next kind of Goy Kodesh. The Eibishter created the whole world for a certain tachlis. And if we follow the Torah and we become a certain type of person, we're mamala that tachlis. And the way we will be mamala that tachlis is by being refined, even according to the Ramban, and trained through the mitzvahs. Fine. So that, but Shechet min ha'orev, Shechet min ha'tzavar means this way. Avada, it's going to make a difference to you if you're Shechet min ha'orev, Shechet min ha'tzavar. It's going to make a tremendous difference to you. Shechet min ha'orev is going to make you an Achzer, Shechet min ha'tzavar is going to make you a Rachman. And that is the reason why we're Shechet min ha'tzavar and not Shechet min ha'orev. That is the reason. Right? It's here the difference. Yechia Evdel. Yeah? When we're going to do a Shechita min ha'tzavar, making a bracha Shechet min ha'tzavar, and I'm asking you, why are you Shechet min ha'tzavar? According to Rashi, you say, L'tzar Adam Sabris. That's why the Eibishter told me, and I'm going to do it. According to the Ramban is, because the Eibishter wants me to be a Rachman. He doesn't want me to be an Achzer. And that's why when I'm going to go and I'm going to check this behemoth, I'm going to go with the Gishat. I want to tap into the Rachmanos that the Eibishter wants to be mashpi on me. And I'm going to let myself be molded and go after that malach that should really change me. And that's the whole purpose of Sefer HaChinuch, right? And the Rambam, and the Sadir, and all those who gave Tamei Mitzvahs l'roiv, and the Ramban himself. And that is because they believe this, that's the whole chinuch, right? Shasha mitzvah. Why are we doing this mitzvah?
Random off topic.
We know scientifically today that talking shechting matzava is the most kosher animal.
Fine, but there you're going in.
But they didn't know that.
To you're going into the more slippery, meaning that is the slippery slope of the Rambam's
They
argument.
didn't know that. But they still believe that.
But you doing. Let me tell you what bothers me about what you're doing.
Of course, you're going to find a trade animal.
No. Not only that. What bothers me is that the Cholkim and the Rambam have a real taina, and the real taina is open the Rambam, open the Ramban Devorim, read the Tamei Mitzvos. Half of them. No. Forget about the Zura. Half of them are so foreign. Meaning, what the Rambam is doing is he's taking his present ethics, science, whatever it is, and he's projecting that on the Torah. Now he holds that that's the only way to go to the Torah. But what's going to be in the next generation? This is exactly what the Gemara says is going to happen, and it happens. Do it yourself. Open a Rambam, open a Devorim, do it. Some of the Tamim are completely. You can't. It's problematic.
Does that mean that we're supposed to take the part that we know that we're supposed to be better and figure out how it makes you better?
According to who? Again, the Rambam is not offended by my problem with
Why
him.
not?
He's the Rambam. He doesn't care about me.
Why not?
Because he's going to tell you.
Rambam
First of all,
2024. What is he going to say?
the Rambam 2024 is going to do exactly what he did in 10 or whatever, and he's going to write it different, and he's going to do it based on his understanding
Of today.
of today.
Okay, that means that's what we're supposed to do.
Exactly. And okay, so here's where I didn't want to go into this, but because I don't have the lashon of Rabban. There's a mimer from Rabban Kotler. I'm in Lakewood. Why? What did I say?
I said this is sound like.
Okay.
And now Rabban's going to argue on the Rambam.
Okay. So now listen. Rabban says like this. You should check out. There's a mimer called Lahiros Limud Anach. How you should learn Nach in schools with kids. It's by Asifa in Tovshin Tezan. I think. You did? You have. Please bring me a copy because I want to quote it inside. What? Huh? how to learn nach in schools. Until we get it, let's get a little more Ramban done. So he says, so aval ela godesh nishkash av kividat in nachalem sherot lo mish ena teles b'mitzvah kadosh baruch ba'atzmi yisalav aval teles bodem atzmo lemnoy mamenu nezek v'emunu ro mit demgune oles kanesim neflas bar yisbarach v'ladas Hashem. V'zeh l'tzarav ben. Not there like it's refining you because you're doing things you don't understand. Sheyu ki kesef tzaruf kesef ein masayim l'tam aval lo hoitzim menu kol siyog. He's saying the tzarif means to do something that doesn't make any sense. No, the tzarif is that there's good silver and there's schmutz, and we want to take it to the v'chena mitzvahs. La'otzim el-benu kol minu rom l'deinu amis l'zachet tomit. V'lo shezeh agad ha'atzma eskribi l'amdeinu. And this is the Parsha. This is chayv b'chmach l'gish b'ch mitchach b'hem v'oichel l'noicher v'oichel klum ato me'iloi v'oichel klum ato me'iloi klum ato mazikoi. Yeah, you're devouring your food in hazah oifen klum ato me'iloi klum ato mazikoi. You're doing it, meaning, the Ramban says, in context, this message is a right to me. Read it in context. This in context, so on the outside it says, the Eibishter is playing dice. Inside, if you look inside, no, the message is saying something very deep. He's saying, are you having an effect on the Eibishter himself? He cares if you eat a tiger or a sheep. If you gained wisdom, you gained wisdom for yourself. Hold on, no, mitzvah tzarva b'riya shanam misham mamos to hire zram kam tzuva lo ma shemegan alach. Hina mefurish bekam. Shlo ba lo men elo she'ena te'elas elo yisal. She yisarach lo arik mechisham na menorah. The Davish doesn't need the light of the menorah, right? That's the Gemara. The Gemara looks to you like and the same thing is with the kabbanis. Or she yisarach lo machla kabbanis v'rechak toris. You can learn pshutim. The Ramban says if you're going to learn pshutim shal mikra, and I encourage you to do it. And it's a gewaldige limud, but it will bring you to the understanding that the menorah is because of tzarech la'orah. That is the understanding. Yeah. Why do you light a menorah? Why do you light a menorah in your house? If you want a menorah in your house, kindly respect the Eibishter and do the same thing in his house. Why do you? That is the pshat when you look at him. So the Ramban, Chazal come to you and Chazal say, "Don't be silly. It's not true. So why do you do it? You do it for different reasons, again, reasons you can understand and appreciate, but not because the Eibishter needs anything from you. He doesn't need any fakir. The tachlis is for you. Why is the menorah? The menorah is for you. The idea, whatever the Gemara says. Every tachlis of everything ultimately is for yourself. And that's what the Eibishter did. The Ratzon Hashem is to be moil for you. That is the Ratzon Hashem. To do a mitzvah is because the kedusha of the mitzvah is to make me a better person. That is the kedusha of the mitzvah. The kedusha of the mitzvah is that the Eibishter wants to make me a better person. Now, so the Rashi is going to come, and the Rambam is not going to like him, and he's going to say, no, the reason why you're doing a mitzvah doesn't make you a better person. Come on, that's not, come on. You make the Eibishter's mind so small. And you have to appreciate it, because be'etzim, when you're done the Iniyah La'amkoi, you have to appreciate the Choylei HaNefesh of the Rambam, because they have a very good point. Meaning, to an extent, we could, and there's a tzad that says, Emchos, you make the Eibishter very, very small. If Sachakal the Eibishter wants is something common sense, then the whole Torah is a bit of common sense. You made the Torah very small. The Rambam says common sense is not so small. He's not arguing that it's not common sense. He's saying that's so small. To have an entire society of refined people that are balimidas and they're leisach bebeged almona and hakim takim and hashavas aveda.
The Rambam with the line Pashtana, yeah, I'm a very smart guy. Very smart mission. And the language in 2024, it was he understood then that when he was more Navi, then 2024
you're going back to your courtroom. You make a big mistake. How is the Rambam going to deal with this?
No, I want to take the next step. I believe 100%. Right? He knew that. And which means therefore we have to say like what we said, that the part is that take the Torah, understand Torah to make you a better person, and take it Torah and use it however in your society, in your thing, and make yourself a better person. About at the end of the day, you got to do whatever the Torah taught.
Oh, that's not. That's not.
So
I agree with you.
If that's the case, then why is the Torah small?
No.
Because the Torah is anyway. Torah is eternal.
No.
Your gisha, like you said, your gisha should be. I should elevate myself.
No, the part where the Torah becomes small, according to the Rambam's cholkim in the eyes of the Rambam, is that if you say something that is commonly appreciated and understood, then I didn't need the Torah's emes Messina. That if I miss one koitz of it, then I'm gonna whatever. I didn't need that. I'm sorry. You were a little marked.
But that's not what the Rambam is saying. The Rambam is saying you have to do Torah because it's eternal, because in 2024 it's going to be a different reason.
Brother, there's no.
But your gisha.
Read the Rambam. Read the Rambam again. 1 minute. Read the Rambam. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that common sense is never holier than the Eibishter. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that the common sense is getlach. That's not what he's saying. Right? Me appreciate the Rambam l'kshatzmai. He's saying that the goy's havana is the richtige havana in the Torah. Now, obviously, we're not making. So this is where we have to learn this Rambam that I wanted to push off again, but let's just see it inside. I quoted it here. This is the Rambam Sefach Me'ilah. Yeah, I'm going to get it there afterwards. So now this, after we learn understand shit as a Rambam, let's see the Rambam Sefach Me'ilah. Roi la'adam lesbonim emishpetei haTorah ha'kedosha. A person, it's a roi for him to meditate and to verstehen and to mutcher on the mishpetei haTorah. V'leida soif in yonam kefi koicha. We'll get back to this line too. So okay, I don't understand. So a guy's going to say, listen, I'm a Ramamist, and I'm going to come and say time in every mitzvah. This mitzvah is bonkers, no sense, makes no outdated. Don't do that. The Torah is not your textbook in school. See how much the Torah is machmir mila. My eitzim avon of offer ve'efer. So you have a piece of eitz va'offer that Shem Hashem was nikra by who? By Stam Nachadufik. Yeah, the guy you don't talk to. That guy said, and that what happens? Nikra Shem Hashem. And what happens in Nikra Shem Hashem? And you came and you were moil in it, you were moil in the Shem Hashem, and you have to go bring a carbon Karen Chamish Vasham. וכל הנוהג להם לקרוא מויל בהשם, ואפילו לא ישויג צורך כפרה. קל וחוימר למצווה שחוקק לנו קודש ברוך הוא. Shleiv told him when he's leave the time, oh, be gewaltig and beautiful and heilig this is. So the Rambam, this is Das Hashem Mamish. This is David. So treat the Torah at least how much you would treat the Eitz Be'evan. That's Hegdish.
Be conservative.
They keep your political agendas out of this. ולא יחפה דבורם אשר לא יקיים על השם ולא יחשב במחשבתו כדברי החול. Don't treat the Torah כדברי החול. It's not chol, it's Hegdish. It's heilig. Handle with care. הרי נאמר בתור שמעת וחכות ושמשפטו שיש המויסם. אמר חם שמיר ועשי לחוקים משפטו. ועשי ידוע שיעשה חוקים. ושמיר שיש בהם ודאי דם וחזם משפטו. משפטו מצא שתם גלוי. ותו וסיסי מה זה ידוע כאן. עסק זלש שחסדם כבדה בהם. So he says that this dargis and the Gemara, it says they have to be careful in each one of them because they're going to, it has an effect. And that's why you have to be careful in all of them, even the ones you don't understand. והחוקים אין המצא שאין טעם ידוע. אמר חם חוקים חקקת לך ואין רחש שזז בהם. ויש שם נקטו ומצא אוהלם משיבים עליהם. Fine, that is the things that are chukim. Double machmet star. Fine. No, shenema, benema. B'chala kavanas kulim v'chala chukim. Amr chacham b'shavutz kavanas alam oimet. The Rambam says, although we don't understand it, doesn't make any sense to us. Shenema v'shmat tzchis v'shut sh'yasa v'sayim v'chayba. Okay, so the Rambam, what's going to happen? A Talmud of mine, and he's going to come shtel deis in the Torah, and it's not going to make sense. So what's he going to say? Cancel. So Rambam says, no, this is not yours to do this. And it's gefährlich. Mamesh, the whole thing. It's kodesh Lashem. Ramban, the Yeshiva, says also.
Ramban is the case of Hurries. The Gemara says, the first mention of Hurries, the Gemara says, once you come in Ma'aber Zak Lal, someone doesn't know is das Besen. Die Masken, think, how the Masken is the Besen. The fact that you're keeping the Torah just because, if you only keep the Torah because you understand it, then even when you're keeping it, that's the Mamash is part of the whole.
So I'm asking you a question. Oh. So what's the Rambam saying?
The Rambam saying, at the end of the day, the Torah is the Torah because the Torah is the Torah. But your Gisha should be, it should be making me better. I mean, that's how it's.
Not, okay. I want to say what the Yeshiva says. Biurim shel divrei Rambam. A Torah lekus hi rechovas meni yam, meni oret v'amukim meni yam. Torah is gewaldig, moedig. Im Adam nigesh Torah bekli sichla yam etzamtzomim. That a person is gisha to the Torah is with it kleine seichel. As someone once yelled at me, you have a peanut brain, and his taina was that I have a peanut brain and I can never be machriya machlekes Yerushalayim because I have a peanut brain. And the shaila is be'etzem. That is exactly where this machlekes is of it. So we'll get back to the peanut brain, right? So we have peanut brains. So we're going to go with our peanut brain and we're going to go learn the Torah. Then when Adam marichal if you sagasa afsis with your kleine moich, you're going to come try to understand the Torah. Who moyed this Torah ledarga sichla lesagasa. You're making the Torah small. Ve'en lecha yitzol lechulenu me'ila v'kodesh gadol mezu. You moiled the whole Torah because you brought it down to your seichel. Ha'adam tzarech ledas. Kshem sheyesh gvul lechushim. Just like there's you have limitations in all your chushim. Kashem she'en adam yochel liris from Eva the Merchim Yisrael, you can't see 1,000 miles. Ken yesh gvul l'such l'shel adam. You're limited in your brain. L'chein anu yochel l'harach is ha-Torah l'fi ha-Sefer, so you can't be masik the Torah. As a olav l'kabel is b'ur Chazal l'chol milah v'oishe b'Torah. You have to accept the Chazal, say it everywhere. Lashon ha-Torah, ena lashon ha-Regidah, shem shtam sheba, ena musigain. You can't understand what the Torah is saying. You don't understand. Your Parsha don't understand ever. כדי להבינו, צורך אדם לימוד תורה לשמה וקדושה ותורה, צורך אדם ליאס בלעסוגיה כבירה, וביודע קבול הנמון איש מפיש. לכן רק באיזה ששלס התורה של חז"ל, שידעו לדרש ולהסבר, only through חז"ל can understand the Torah. And דברי הרמב"ם נוהגים לכל עניין שבתורה, הלכה, אגוד, דין וסיפור. כולם לא יוכל אדם להערך לפי שכל. You can never understand the Torah לפי השכל.
But the end of the learning is still based on the Sechel. In the dialogue, not the Mashiach Brothers. You can't ever say that a meat is a Torah, but how the Torah is.
That is absolutely my smallest problem with what the Rashi was saying. What he's saying is the entire Rambam cutting out the whole foundation of what the Rambam is trying to say. He's mamish. This is learning Rambam Geloi Aliba the Rambam. The Rambam starts off. Can we say this? Roi la'odam lizboinen b'mishptei ha'Torah ha'kedusha v'leida saf inyanim kefi koicha. Kefi koicha with my peanut brain, my little small irrelevant peanut brain. I have to understand. The Rambam says, you, the Torah give you, as you make a bracha b'chas Torah, you're a small, tiny, little, pathetic human being. The Eibishter give you the Torah that you can feed your dad should try to understand the Torah. Now, what's gonna happen if you have 1 minute? So, the Torah is bigger. The shaila is, Im Adam migish l'Torah b'kli sichla mitzumtzomim, he morid es Torah l'darga sichla l'segosa. Can I ask you? Let me ask you a question. Okay. From an eternal wisdom perspective, there's a famous saying, right? You ever heard this saying? Attributed to the Rav of Yerushalayim. He says, what's the beauty of this word? The beauty of the word is that we're eternal. So 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, it's eternity. We have all the time in the world, right? It's a beautiful ma'aseh. There's a chassid of Shmuel Monkes. Shmuel Monkes was a chassid of Balatanya, and he was the batch in all these gewaldige occasions. He was a gewaldig. The stories that have Chabad and Mamish are the most beautiful stories. So there was by Chasana, and Shmuel Monkes gets up and he says, and the Alter Rebbe asked him, say something. So he says, he has permission. No, he was talking about all the people. He gave he was making chozik of the whole olam there, pre-Harav Chaim era, and he was making the tons of it. And so the Balatanya says, no, what's it like? So he asked permission. He didn't want those. And the Rebbe gave him a go ahead. And he says, ich and the Rebbe is an glach. Now, not something you should say, Chabad specifically. Ich and the Rebbe is an glach. Famous. So. Was ich weiß der Rebbe auch nicht. In Teure, right? Whatever I know in Teure, der Rebbe weiß doch. Was der Rebbe weiß nicht, weiß ich auch nicht. Das was der Chilik. Chilik ist, was der Rebbe weiß ja, und ich weiß nicht. Nu. Wie ein größer Chilik ist das, aber was du zu wissen? Magnificent, right? Meaning, what's the Chilik between me and you? Chilik is the things that you know and I don't know. And what don't you know? How big is das is the Eibishter? Yeah, this is Kleinigkeit. This is Ashpaya Wasser. Now, we have to apply that Reb Aaron's logic to us, Ramoshe, Reb Aaron, the Rambam, the Ramban, Rav Ashi. They're all equal to us. The whole difference between me and Rav Ashi is what he knew and what I didn't know. He's a Sagan Hashem, I'm a Sagan Hashem. Now, in this world, their universe is away. But Klapadas Hashem, we're not. It's a very schwer argument to make, because if the point is that we have peanut brains, Klapadas Hashem, we all have peanut brains, because it's not a v'erech. There's no shaykhs.
Your point of reference is Rav Ashi.
But my shayla is, what gives Rav Ashi the chutzpah to psychoanalyze Sarah Amen? Okay, that's my shayla of it. He goes into how you learn Novi and whatever. So why could he and I can't? Now, by the way, Chalila, you shouldn't understand from here that for 1 second, that's mamish, I trust the Olam's intellect. You understand, that's not my point, right? Avada, I'm makir that I have Efes. But the point is that in a world where everyone is I have Efes. So
he's also greater.
No.
If you're staying that they were malachim, then we're bnei adam. But if you think that they're bnei adam, then you're not even nothing. means at the end of the day, of course, the difference is keep going. But
Mahuti.
I heard your question.
Okay.
You asked a good question.
No, but besides my question, you have to learn Rambam. What's the Rambam want from me as a human being?
I think it's the same thing as everyone. I think the Rambam is saying, I think in the Rambam, that about the Torah is beyond that, and we're peanut brains. But Hashem still wants you. The tachlis of Hashem giving you the Torah for you peanut brain is to try to utilize it with your peanut brain and your agasha.
And make sense of it on my own. This is kefi koichoi. These words kefi koichoi can this.
I think Baron's argument. Baron's
Can you read this? Can you read this?
Your peanut, but you have to.
Can you read this? What he's saying is that I have no right to learn the Torah kefi sechli. You have no right. But if you're doing that, you're moil behegdish. And the Rambam says the Torah was only given for that reason. There is no tachlis in the Torah. Meaning, the tachlis of the Torah was to give you, to make you a different, that you should learn it, you should internalize it.
Then how do we learn Gemara?
What do you mean?
How do you learn Gemara? Whatever you're learning.
So Lefi Rabbi Seinu. Everything is Lefi Rabbi Seinu.
But it's not.
Why not? It is Lefi Rabbi
It's not,
Seinu.
because
I'm building.
When you were learning Teiz Kasha, Teiz would laugh. He would sit there and giggle, and he would probably die, have a heart attack from laughter. That you thought that's what you thought I was saying.
By the way, but how interconnected that is with that Choli Nefesh that Rambam is talking about. Because if Seichel Hayasha, why can I think of the same?
I'm not arguing.
No, because you don't have the same vision.
True, but I'm saying it's not more. What's making you think? When you learn a Gemara, I'm just asking you a question. When you learn a Gemara and you have Toys Kasha, what's making you think that this is not Toys Kasha? So sometimes you take a rule.
And a few times, I wish you'd write a statement on the Parsha, but a couple of times he takes in his drushim and decides to take apart a Rashi, and he shows you and explains what Tosis is asking. When he finished going through the step by step how he explains that this kasha, the third kasha was only shver after the second kasha, which was only shver after when it goes to the gaga of what Tosis was saying. You realize that you don't begin to understand the Tosis. And that's Tosis.
But based on what you're saying,
But I could also.
And you can still learn Tosis.
Okay.
Because that's what Hashem wanted to learn Tosis.
Okay, this is mamish. I don't. I hear. Let's not get. I hear. I think we could have a shmuz about this. I don't want to get fakach. What I want to say is, I mamish think wholeheartedly that this Rabban is a be'emes, a tremendous tzarchian if you learn the Rambam inside, and not only if you learn the Rambam inside. If you learn the Rambam, alibi the Rambam. The Rambam is trying to defend himself from the slippery slope argument, and not from the argument itself, also from the practice, right? Meaning he's mechanech is talmidim. If you do it the way I do it, you're going to have this problem. It's a unique problem that you have. Rashi's talmidim don't have this problem. You have this problem, and therefore I'm warning you. The Torah is not your little brain. The Torah is way beyond. Now you could kifi sichlecha, you can be masik the Torah, you can be fine tamei Torah, and your tamei Torah are as true as everything else you're ever going to learn in Torah. But you have to be careful. Wait.
But also based on the what you're saying in the Rambam, it's beyond and wouldn't have a right to learn it in our cycle.
Who says that in Rambam?
Aaron says how did Gemara come about?
No, fine. Is Rabban is not Rabban's mahalach is very avegishtel. I'm not saying the Rabban's mahalach is Torah Eretz Albalima. He's avegishtel because he has his whole mahalach. And there's a lot to appreciate there. It's not what I'm just coming to say that mahalach and this mahalach are very, very different. And to project that on the Rambam is be'etzem the reason why he's right. Because that's exactly what happens. When you come from your seichel, okay, right? Because what he's doing is projecting his Rambam onto the Rambam. Okay, I don't want to say it. I don't want to, which is exactly what's going on here. Okay, so let's not go there. But the point is that it's a tzarchin. I think it's a mitzvah liyashiv, and we have to. But I think the Rabban in the Rambam is saying hepech hagomer of what the Rambam is saying.
Can we argue with Chazal? Can we argue with Rishon?
No. First of all, it depends. Let's stay focused on let's come back. Meaning you could, but you're silly. You could, but you're silly. That's also what comes out of the Rambam.
That's all that the Rambam is saying.
But it isn't. Be intellectually honest. There's nobody saying. So let's go. Let's move on. First of all, the Maramokim, anti-Ramban Maramokim is a Maral. I just want to say it because we mamish don't have time to see it inside. Where he stells avek ladam. no tamim whatsoever, mamish. And the ad kidei kach that he muches to forever the psukim that say that the Torah has a betterment to society.
With that being said, the Ram Machs like also all these chazals that all these interesting chazals.
Oh, yeah, please, Queen, go there. We could go there one day, but okay. So anyway, check out Tiferes Yisrael Perek Vov. It's check it out. It's the shleimus. Meaning, there's no shleimus of the sugi if you don't. He goes through the Rambam, the Ramban, the Ian, and he's choylek in ganzen. So it's kedai to check it out. It's chaval not to go there. Where are we holding over here in the Ramban? Let's see how much. We don't have to finish the whole thing. But he says as well. Maybe I'm going to check my tzar b'va'oref loy ma shekulam lonu v'loy lakadosh baruch hu v'shaloi tachal lama b'shchit shebetal zukavod l'bayis baruch mitzav yizma oif anecha. It's a comment today. Alonu heim ladrichenu b'nisi v'zarachim gam es hashchita. That even while you eat, even while you shecht, even while you kill, you can kill human. And that is what the Torah wants. But it's not for the Eibush himself personally. V'heviu raya acheres machbis ben oichel toheres v'hem ha'machalim ha'mutorim lo'oichel tameis v'hem ha'machalim ha'asurim sh'omer b'hem torah tamei mehem olachen v'ramaz shehu liyoseinu nikia nefesh chachom ha'meskir ha'emes. V'omer b'chem tamacham do lo ha'skir ki ha'mitzvah ha'masi yashchit tzatzav v'lamdeinu amedes toivus v'mitzvah gduris b'minin lezakik es nafsheseinu v'leshak nafshesechem v'minu vav. The reason why le'teshaktu and all these machalos asuris is le'toileseinu b'vav. Fine. We said Dover Muskim called the Rebbe Seinu. Gets it. And he just goes on and brings all these rayos from Chazal, and they all shtalavek this mahalach. Kashi Pirashti, v'chein tzavenu shalom d'azakal chukam eli, Hashem eken tov lanu kol hayomim, v'akavonu b'kulam l'toiv lonu, v'lo le'yizbarach. It's l'toiv lonu. The mitzvahs are l'toiv lonu, because they're going to make us better people. And we have to think of it that way. No, the Eibush, no shaykhs. But kol mashan it's tivinu she'ebrois et tzrufis, and mizkakaz b'lo yisigim achshav tzrois, u'midis megunis. וכן מה שאומר לבישה אויסה מדויץ וכז ברוך הוא רחם בין הנלק זהירס לא מה שלחסה אלא כאן ציפה ולא הגיע רחם על איזה בנוי שאין רחמov מגיעים בבעלי הנפש הבהמס למנוי אויסה מלאסס בהם צרכינו. The Abishah doesn't care about animal life. He doesn't care. שאם כן הוא יויסה השחית, if he would care enough, so he doesn't care, right? Meaning al-af, that the Ikrim and Pshid and other Rishonim think that the Abishah does care to an extent, and that's why that's him. You should be vegan, but the Ramban says the Abishah doesn't care. שאם כן הוא יויסה השחית, אבל טעם המניע ללמה ידעסנו מידס הרחמנות שלנו סחזי. כי אכזור יש תשפש בנפש האדם. He says, because you're going to think it's an animal, and it's so what? He says, no, it's not so what. Because an achzer is an achzer is an achzer. You're going to become an achzer on an animal, you're going to become an achzer on people.
Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't allowed to hit the water.
Because of this same rayon. כי אכזור יש תשפש בנפש האדם כי ידעו בטבוחים, שויכתי השבורים הגדולים, וחמורים, שמען שדומם זה הפכי אדם אכזור המועד. He says that the butchers are roitzchim. That's it. Why are they roitzchim? Because they kill all day for a living. והנה, המצווה האלה בבהמה ואויף מצד התורה, אינון רחמנוס עליהם. Huh? A butcher. No. The Ramban is talking about a butcher. The butcher, they did the whole job. Yeah. He's talking about people that are butchering chamorim. Yeah. Why are you not an achzer when you're a shoychid? Because you make a bracha shekshon mitzvahs v'tzivonu. That's exactly the point. And you're not doing this of his benoi. And you're not doing other things. That's why you could turn out to be a shoychid and eat a stick of flesh, and you're a fakir. You already became a rachman from that. Like the Rechaim HaKodesh in Iran Adachas. Ayin Shom. It's not that I can't say yagir rachmecha. Where is the irus? Where is the ashkofa that's wrong? The Eibush is rachmanis magir al kantzipah. It's not. The Eibush rachmanis magir to me. I should be a rachman. So he says, "Exeris banu ladrichenu v'lamed yisrael amidus atoivus. Chen yikru hein kol hamitzvah shebetoy Chazal call them asay v'lo asay. They call them all exeris. Come on, shamru b'mashal amelech shalach samdina v'lo v'lo exeris amelech become chuzek. This is fine. It's a most stam amarim. I'll go on. That is Shitzer Ramban. Shitzer Ramban, no uncertain does. I think we have a beautiful machlokes, and Ayin Maral, because he takes it all the way. It is two very different gishot to a mitzvah. One gisha is I want to be Eved Hashem, Avodah Hashem. I don't care. I want one thing. I want to be an Eved Hashem. And being Eved Hashem is shaking the luminescent. I'm not going to I don't care about the time mitzvahs, not up Yisod, not up Nigla, not up nothing. I care about one thing. The Eibush said, Omar v'nasach tzaynoy, and I'm making a chesruach, and with that I make myself an evet fakir. If I don't understand, I dafke don't want to understand. And noch mehr, if we're going to be the Chola Nefesh of the Rambam, we're going to say because, the Torah is not as small as you. The Torah is bigger than you. And you don't understand the Torah, you don't understand nothing. And that's why you have to understand that you want to be in a Sa'ala through the Torah, because by Asher Kishonu Mitzvos Mitzvonu, Rashi also says that, because you become a Skadish by becoming an Eved Hashem. Because we didn't give Rashi's position enough time. Avad Asher Kishonu Mitzvos. The Eibush is Mekadosh us through our mitzvahs. How? Because the Tzaref of Mitzvah. Because he's refining us through our Kabbalah Sorah. The whole entire Torah is Kabbalah Sorah. And you do that, you become a bigger Eved, more of an Eved, more of an Eved, more of an Eved. That's the tachlis of your whole life. What?
You become a better person.
Now you're blending it up.
You're becoming an Eved Hashem.
Eved Hashem. Eved Hashem is not a person.
Maybe, but it's a byproduct. Now, but it's a complete byproduct. Now, according to the Rambam and the Ramban and the Chinuch and the position that was, I think, very much accepted to be the consensus in Klal Yisrael, and that is that every mitzvah has a time and every mitzvah has a te'eles for me today, here in my life. And the Rambam takes it versteht sich to the next level. It says you're obliged, like I do in my Nebuchim, like Reb Sadi does in one of today's, and like many are going to follow. Is I'm going to come and rationalize the mitzvahs. You do a mitzvah, try to learn the mitzvah, try to rationalize it. Try to understand, what does the Torah want from me. Make it make sense to you. And when that way, when you do that mitzvah, you connect to the mitzvah, and then you let the mitzvah change you. And the mitzvah is going to transform you for that specific thing. And they're going to do the other mitzvah, that's going to transform you for different nekuda.
I'm saying we see this flaw. We go to a mitzvah before the chunas is the mitzvah type of idea. And when the guy that teaches a mitzvah, learn the nunam, and you do it, it just has a much. It means it's much more. Right,
100%. So now I got one Maramokim. So one minute. One Maramokim is Stam. You see where this machlokes comes out of shtickle, and this is the Rambam says that the Rambam categorizes. So now we know in the Gemara there's machlokes between Shimon and the Chachamim. If you understand, you cannot understand. Now, what's the b'shoresh machlokes? B'shoresh machlokes is not if I can say a time in the time. B'shoresh machlokes is, can I, once I establish according to my das what the Ratzon Torah is, now according to Reb Shimon, I can shtelevek when this is going to apply or not. Meaning Reb Shimon takes the slippery slope and he goes down the slide as with the ganze frischkeit. Right? He says, Reb Shimon there is time in the Kro. And if that's the time where the time doesn't apply, there's no mitzvah. That's why it could be choivel beged almana osher or whatever. Yeah, the many sugyas. That's what, meaning if this is the time of the Torah, then I can do whatever I want. Not I can do whatever I want. Then I, according to Reb Shimon, can take the. Yeah, but I want to be in Chazal itself. So you see as a position, right? So you see he takes the luxury of saying a Tamam, it's no halach chachamim, but Reb Shimon's there is Tam in the Kra, and he says halachas. The Rambam, one area where the Rambam does it himself is not nafkimin al halacha kamat lachore. Maybe you can find nafkiminas, but the Rambam categorizes hilchis hakofes pas harosh and hilchis avodah. So the Rambam says in my Nebuchim, and that the derech of the Advisable was that they would have stam. Who told you? And maybe there's a big enough community if it's a din of Advisable, and it's not a din of Advisable. It should make a difference.
Nobody does that today.
No. But I'm not going there. I'm saying something else. I'm saying that the Rambam took something according to his own achra that Chazal don't say, and he therefore categorized it in a certain what? No. And the Torah takes a gewaldige issue with this. The Torah, I wrote it. Akofis Rosh Hashanah Zakin Gam be'elu Kosav Rambam she'asar makasav neshoizen kein avodik kechav. V'zeh enu mefirish. Number one, enu mefirish. No one told you, so I don't know where you get information from. Number two, I don't understand your agenda. What are you after? What are you doing? See here, the Torah has two problems. One is mechtesa. Two is what are you doing? And this is the conversation they're having over here. And that is that the Torah is saying to the Rambam, was willst du? I don't have an issue with your tam that I think is tam whole cloth. But I don't understand your agenda. You see, this is beautiful. This is where this comes out. The Rambam is saying, you're kidding? The entire Torah is given that I should do this. If I'm sitting by the barber and I'm not thinking that I want to be Polish and I want to be different because I'm a Yid and I'm an Eved Hashem and I want to do this, then I missed the point of a Kafas Harosh. And the Torah is saying, when I sat by the barber, I just said, I'm a Yid. I don't care. The Eibishter told me. Look at two people sitting by the barber, and they both definitely sat by the barber, and they both definitely went with two very different malachim to the barber. They walked differently. They both walked with the kavanah that they're going to be an Isra and a Lo Yisrael. If they understand, they don't understand. That's not the point. But the Rambam is saying, I'm not over with the Zohar. The Torah says, I'm Eved Hashem. And this is just beautiful. And I'm Beis Yosef from this
By the way, Eved Hashem and Harav is basically the same thing. There's two sides of the same coin.
punct in this specific. That's Menachem. Okay.